Good morning everyone, it's Janette here on a Sunday morning. Enthusiastic gardener, welcome back to my garden in Essex in England. It's a beautiful weather, and it's been very dry and hot here. So I've just spent an hour watering the garden, which it so needed it, and it really just highlighted everything that needs to be done maintenance wise. So I have a whole load of weeds popping up everywhere. Now I didn't want to do a video of me weeding because, well, it's not very interesting, is it? But I'll just show you some of my weeds here. This is the sort of thing that I need to tackle. And also we have a lot of straggliness everywhere. I have my topiaries, they need to be trimmed. In fact, I watched Gardener's World. Monty said it's the perfect time. He was shaping his Nigel dog topiary. If ever you watch Gardener's World, he's made one of his favourite dogs, Nigel, into a topiary. Well, I'm not quite that advanced level. We can't do a little Lottie, can we, Lottie? But I have quite a few topiaries and they need to be tidied up. They're becoming unrecognisable, so I need to do that. I need to do things like cutting back my hardy geraniums, and then also one of my star jasmines on one side, which is that way, that's turning its beautiful autumn colour, while this one on the opposite wall, which faces west, that one faces east, this one's kind of far behind in the colour, but it's very straggly and it needs tying in. And then I need to cut back these, because I cut these flowers off every week. These have done so well, I'm so pleased with them, but I cut the flowers off every week and then they bloom again straight away. So deadheading those, that's a good thing that I'll be doing. And another thing is my pond, that pond there, it's become so overgrown, which is kind of what I was after, the overgrown wild look, but even so, you can't even see it anymore. It's completely disappeared, which I do quite like, because, well, it's kind of hidden for any wildlife. They would probably feel very protected. But I think all the Carexes, there's so many, and they just explode in my garden. They have little pups, and the pups grow, and I think I do need to thin it out. Now I have tried transplanting them, they just don't like it and they often die. So unfortunately I just have to thin out. I've even given them to other people. I gave some to Mum, those died. I gave some to Tina, those died. So a little bit of a double-edged sword, because they're beautiful plants, but I don't want them anywhere else. I have so many in that little area. I don't want a whole garden of Carex grasses. So I'm going to thin them out, and they will have to go. And I know some of you won't be happy about that, but you know, they won't survive if I try and transplant them. It's just, they do prolifically well here. So there's that to do. My tree fern is looking amazing, and shady corner. Funnily enough, I find the shade garden is the easiest of all of my garden areas, and loving the tree fern. I am watering that tree fern twice a day. I water it in the morning, I water it in the evening. Sometimes I water from overhead and I kind of count to 60, and that's how much water it gets. Sometimes I fill a watering can and then you pour the water right into the trunk. So I do that. You have to keep them wet all the time. They're very, very needy, but I love it so much. The other thing is my fish. Oh, my fish are just delightful, and they're getting friendlier, and I like to think that they know me. Well, they certainly, I put my fingers in 5 o'clock or 5:30 every afternoon. That's feeding time, and I put my fingers and they come waiting for their food, and they're just, I love my fish. I love my fish, what more can I say? I'm so pleased I have them. What else do I need to do? Well, I realise actually, listing all those jobs, which initially I thought to myself, we'll do those in a couple of hours. No, we're not going to do that, because now it's full sun in the garden and it's quite tiring gardening in the full sun. So I'm going to do those as jobs for the week, and maybe 1 hour every day I will tackle one of those jobs. A little bit of topiary, or a little bit of thinning of the pond, a little bit of tiling of the jasmine, star jasmine, the weeding as well, of course. That's best done, well, not in full sun. So they are going to be my jobs for the week, because the garden is supposed to be pleasurable, not an exhausting list of tasks. That's what I'm going to do. And I encourage you as well, 1 little hour here and there, and we will get all these jobs done. And it's not so daunting or overwhelming, and we can have a little relax as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So apologies, no actual physical gardening today in this video, but planning is all part of the process. I wish you well wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Which one should we pick, Lottie? Let's pick the easy one.